Imagine a world of automotive innovation where speed and technology collide to create feats of engineering that defy imagination. A world where ordinary boundaries blur and where the roar of engines is intertwined with the hum of electric motors. In this captivating landscape, the leading Swedish automobile powerhouse Koenigsegg has once again plunged headfirst into the uncharted territory of electrifying performance. Today, we embark on a thrilling journey deep into the heart of Koenigsegg's latest creation, the enigmatic Dark Matter Raxial Flux 6-phase e-motor. With whispers of unprecedented power, mysterious 6-phase technology, and a design that pushes the boundaries of what we thought was possible, this is a story that transcends the world of mere cars. It's a tale of electric dreams, high-speed ambitions, and the relentless pursuit of automotive excellence. So, fasten your seatbelts, because we're about to uncover the electrifying secrets of this modern marvel that's redefining the world of hypercars. So, Koenigsegg, that leading Swedish automaker known for pushing the boundaries, has just unveiled the production version of their Gemera hypercar. But what sets it apart? Well, it's a hybrid marvel, combining the might of not one, but two combustion engines with a single, awe-inspiring electric motor named the Dark Matter. But what makes this electric motor so special, you ask? Let's break it down. First off, the Dark Matter motor looks like it's been plucked straight out of a sci-fi movie. Encased in forged carbon fiber, it's not only a powerhouse, but also a featherweight, tipping the scales at under 40 kilograms. But what about the numbers? Koenigsegg doesn't disappoint here either. They claim the Dark Matter cranks out a whopping 800 horsepower and a jaw-dropping 922 pound-foot of torque. Now, if you pay attention to the name of the motor, you will notice that there is a thing about 6-phase. And you might be wondering, what's the deal with 6 phases, right? Well, buckle up, because this is where the real innovation kicks in. You see, most electric motors in automobiles are typically 3-phase beasts. When we talk about phases, we're basically talking about groups of wound copper coils that create the electromagnets within the motor stator. In a 3-phase motor, you could have as few as 3 coils or as many as 33, depending on the motor designer's whims. However, when it comes to automotive radial flux motors like this one, it's pretty typical to see anywhere from 6 to 9 coils doing their electromagnet dance. And that's where the Dark Matter's 6-phase setup comes into play. By having more phases, it can distribute higher currents more effectively. Why is that a big deal? Well, it means this motor can handle some serious power without breaking a sweat, and it keeps that heat in check. So while Koenigsegg's Quark electric motor might be 3-phase and less potent, the Dark Matter takes things to a whole new level with its innovative 6-phase design. In the world of electric motors, 3 phases are typically the minimum you need for a practical motor design. Adding more phases doesn't always provide significant advantages unless there's a specific use case in mind. In Koenigsegg's case, it's highly probable that having 6 phases effectively translates into having 2 motors sharing a single case. However, keep in mind that this is just speculation, since we haven't had a peek inside the motor. But it's worth noting that we have seen similar 6-phase electric motors in high-power EVs like Ford's 1973 horsepower supervan. Now, onto the intriguing axial flux part of the name. Most electric motors and EVs are known as radial flux machines. Picture a donut-shaped stator that surrounds a rotor adorned with outward-facing permanent magnets. These motors are called radial flux because the stator exerts radial force to spin the permanent magnets around. Lucid super-efficient electric motors operate in this manner, for example. But as for axial flux motors, which are at the heart of the Koenigsegg Dark Matter Raxial Flux 6-phase e-motor, these motors share some similarities with radial flux motors, as they also use permanent magnets. However, the real magic lies in how their components are arranged. In an axial flux machine, the stator coils are quite distinctive. Picture them with faces parallel to the largest face of those permanent magnets. This unique configuration allows for a slimmer and flatter electric motor, a real space saver. But here's where it gets its name. The magnetic flux flows in an axial direction rather than a radial one, hence the term axial flux. So instead of imagining a donut and its munchkin, think of a stack of pancakes. That's how the components are laid out in an axial flux motor. Andre Zekeli, the e-motor development lead, spilled the beans during the launch of one of Koenigsegg's motors. He emphasized how Koenigsegg is all about shedding those extra pounds to maximize performance. They achieved this by crafting the motor shaft from 300M steel, the kind of steel you'd find in motorsports and aerospace applications. Now, what's so special about 300M steel? Well, it's the same stuff you'll find in aircraft landing gears, flap tracks, and other critical airframe parts. It's a low-alloy, vacuum-melted steel loaded with silicone, vanadium, carbon, and molybdenum. This steel is no joke when it comes to durability and weight reduction. But that's not all. The Dark Matter motor goes even further in the pursuit of lightweight excellence. Zekeli mentioned that they've implemented direct cooling, a clever move to keep things efficient and compact. And when we say compact, we mean it. Even the rotor boasts the legendary Koenigsegg Air Core hollow carbon fiber technology. This engineering marvel not only met the demanding powertrain requirements of the Gemera, but actually surpassed expectations. It's now lighter and smaller than any electric motor in its class. Now, if you're wondering how all this tech translates to power on the road, here's the kicker. When you pair the Dark Matter e-motor with the optional 1500 horsepower twin turbocharged hot V8 engine, the Gemera becomes an absolute beast, packing a mind-boggling 2300 total horsepower and 2,029 pound-feet or 2,750 newton-meters of torque. As if that's not enough, Koenigsegg CEO and founder Christian von Koenigsegg proudly boasts that the Gemera HV8 isn't just the most powerful and extreme production car on planet Earth, but it's also surprisingly practical and user-friendly for a sports car. With an astonishing 1.11 horsepower per kilogram, this machine is a true marvel of modern engineering. Now here's an interesting tidbit. British tech company YASA, recently acquired by Mercedes, is the heavyweight champion when it comes to producing axial flux machines. They're known for their expertise in this field and have even supplied these motors to Koenigsegg in the past. Because it is a new technology, there are a lot of theories about how Koenigsegg's Raxial Flux motor might actually work. While we don't have a blueprint, we can certainly speculate on a few intriguing possibilities. One way this could be achieved is by having stator coils in the shape of a U-shaped torus. Picture bending a paperclip around the spine of a book. That could give you a rough idea of what it might look like. Now imagine the rotor snugly nestled inside these U-shaped coils, with sets of magnets strategically placed to face the tall sides of the U and the bottom side. That would give you 3 sets of magnets in total, working in harmony to generate power. But wait, there could be even more sophisticated approaches. The founder of the company, von Koenigsegg himself, in a statement to Auto Evolution, mentioned something about increasing rotor diameter against the bulk of the stator and optimizing the stator OD, outer diameter, to be able to accept this extra flux. Now, while that doesn't exactly lay out the exact design, it does point us in an interesting direction. In simple terms, this means creating more space for magnetic force, or flux, to work its magic. And what does that translate to? More torque! And if this torque can be applied at higher RPMs, well, you guessed it, more power. While we may not have all the blueprints, it's clear that Koenigsegg's Raxial Flux technology is all about maximizing the magnetic might to deliver jaw-dropping performance. Without the privilege of cracking open one of these motors, which, as far as we know, hasn't happened yet, there is no telling the extent of this motor's powers, and we're left with fascinating speculation. But isn't that part of the thrill of the automotive world? In the end, what we do know for sure is that Koenigsegg has once again demonstrated its knack for developing cutting-edge automotive technology. As hybrid and electric vehicle technology continues to evolve, we can anticipate even more exotic motor designs emerging from the shadows, especially in the realm of exotic cars. Innovation is the name of the game, and Koenigsegg is clearly playing it with gusto. So there you have it. The future of automotive tech promises to be an exhilarating ride, filled with surprises and innovations that will leave us all in awe. Stay tuned for more exciting developments in the world of high-performance electric motors and exotic automobiles.